who won the Senate, the people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, that people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for, and that's what democracy is all about.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are in effect policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization. So, and the kind of things we're doing are, I think, very, very simple and basic. They're not, what I mentioned, for example, about Treasury, just making sure that payments that go out, taxpayer money that goes out, is categorized correctly, that the payment is explained, that organizations on the do not pay list, which takes a lot to get there, that actually are not paid, which currently they are paid. These are not individual judgment decisions. These are about simply having sensible checks and balances in the system itself to ensure that taxpayer money is spent well. So it's got nothing to do with, like, say, a contract with some company of mine at all.
But if there is a conflict of interest when it comes to you yourself, for instance, you've received billions of dollars in federal contracts, when it comes to the Pentagon, for instance, which the president, I know, has directed you to look into.
Yeah.
Are you policing yourself in that? Is there any sort of accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say, like, wait a second, hey, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately.
Including you yourself.
Yes. But transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on. And then you can see, am I doing something that benefits one of my companies or not? It's totally obvious.
And we thought that.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some seriously interesting stuff. We're going to break down Elon Musk's responses to some of the most challenging questions he's faced about his role in government, business, and transparency. Whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny that his answers are direct, no nonsense, and incredibly revealing. So, let's get into it. Elon Musk starts by addressing a pretty heavy accusation that he's orchestrating a hostile government takeover. His response? Well, it's not what you might expect. He starts by emphasizing that the public voted for major government reform. He points to the fact that President Trump in particular campaigned on this idea of radical change, and the people voted for it. Musk believes that the government's role is to deliver what the people asked for, even if that means ruffling some feathers. Musk doesn't shy away from the idea that he's part of a bigger political movement. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. Next up, Musk is asked about transparency, specifically about how his companies handle taxpayer money and avoid conflicts of interest. Musk confidently asserts that transparency is the cornerstone of his approach. He even goes as far as saying that the Doge organization, yes, you heard that right, is maximally transparent, claiming that no organization shares as much about its actions as they do. Transparency at its finest, right? But with so many eyes on him, do you think it's really enough? Or does transparency alone not guarantee accountability? Drop your thoughts below. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, conflicts of interest. Elon Musk has been involved in several federal contracts, particularly with the Pentagon, but Musk assures us that everything is fully public. If there's ever a question about whether something benefits one of his companies, people will call it out. Transparency is what he believes builds trust, not just claims of trustworthiness. He's all about ensuring the public can see exactly what's going on. Do you think he's being genuine, or is this just damage control? I want to hear your take in the comments. And hey, if you're enjoying this so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay updated with all our new videos. Lastly, Musk wraps up by emphasizing why transparency is so important. It's not just about what you say, it's about what you can see. When everything is laid out in the open, it's easy to see if someone is acting in their own self-interest. If there's a potential conflict, it'll be clear to everyone, and that's how trust is built. Musk doesn't just want to be trusted, he wants his actions to speak for themselves. I love this approach. What about you? Is this the level of transparency we need from our leaders, or do you think there's more to it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And that's a wrap on today's video. Elon Musk definitely doesn't hold back, and his responses to some pretty serious questions give us a lot to think about. Transparency, accountability, and being upfront about conflicts of interest seem to be at the core of his philosophy. If you found this video interesting, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends, and of course, click that subscribe button for more content like this. I'll see you next time. Stay curious and